The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign, trusted by over 500 NFL players for their winning smiles. And broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now, your host, Nicole Hutchison.
Wake up, Cowboys Nation. Welcome into Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign in the SWBC studio. I'm Nicole Hutchison alongside Brianna Aldridge, Aisha Morrison. Ladies, what's happening?
Morning.
Good morning.
Wake up!
There it is.
We always know you're on time, right on time, just like this practice report. We're going to get straight into it. Aisha, what you got for this practice report? A lot of guys on that list.
Yeah. Yes. First practice report came out yesterday. Tyler Guyton did not practice with that ankle he injured in game. Nate Thomas came in for him. It feels like, we'll see how it goes, but I'm preparing my heart to see Nate Thomas. Also, Odigizua did not practice with an elbow. George Pickens with a knee/calf did not practice. Kevontae Turpin with a shoulder/illness did not practice. Jadeveon Clowney with a neck was limited. Dante Fowler with the shoulder was limited. Malik Hooker with a toe and a thigh was limited. Donovan Wilson with a neck injury was limited. Deron Bland with the wrist was full. James Houston with a wrist/knee was full. Hunter Lipke with a hip injury was full. Tyler Smith with the knee was full. And Solomon Thomas with the calf was full. I was surprised. I was surprised I'm surprised that he's coming back from this calf. He's progressing as well as fast as he is.
Yeah, yesterday, first, we are taking calls, 1-888-855-2297. Today's Tuesday. Y'all know the drill. Call us, beep us, if y'all want to reach us. Beep us. But no, I know Shadi was asked about, just current injury updates yesterday in the press conference, and he basically mentioned, I want to wait to see guys moving around a little bit more today. Yesterday was more so like a walkthrough practice, just because they did just play a whole game, literally full 4 quarters of a game against the Eagles. So hopefully we will find some more news out. But Tyler Guyton, he did say, is the biggest question mark heading into this Chiefs game. How would you ladies assess the way that Tyler Guyton has played this season? Obviously, he had those 2 penalties last week, but I felt like this season he's improved. He's improved a lot. What y'all think?
Yeah, I would agree. The improvement. I think the biggest thing they were looking for from him in year 2 is being more consistent, and I feel like he has done that. You see him, taking some losses over there every once in a while. Penalties. Yeah. It's not as high as last year, but he's, that's still a thing to talk about. But I would say overall, if you're looking from year 1 to year 2, the biggest thing is he has been more consistent. If you get into all the PFF grades and such, it has improved as well to you. If you want to get in, I know everyone has their opinions on those actual grades, but it's better. Is it his best? No, but it's, what is my favorite word? Serviceable?
Yeah. You're not going to die when I'm out there.
Yeah.
What?
I had to say it like that.
We say that in football. He's not going to get you killed. I mean, that's what you said.
That's true.
And I think he's gotten better than he's not going to get you killed. I feel like his hand tech has really improved. Just his striking, and when he contacts, he's less reactionary this year, I want to say. He's less reactionary, and he's more so being, the initiator of contact. I think also, too, one thing I think he's done better this year is recovering and countering in rep. Sometimes, there's defensive ends and, speed rushers and stuff. They'll throw 3 the good ones will throw 2-3 different moves at you within a pass rush. I think he's learning and picking up tendencies a little bit better and also recovering better. He's always had the foot quickness, but I think his hands and what he's doing with his hand technique is a little bit better in recovering. And in the run game, he got some nasty to him. Yeah. The run game is not his that was not really what he was known for coming into the NFL. Most people looked at him as a better pass protector, but one thing that I will say is is in the run game. He wants to finish guys better. I think he's initially, when he initially contacts better, I think he's latching on better and driving better. So I feel like he has made improvements more than anything to me in the run game and the attitude that he has in the run game.
Yeah, physicality overall.
Yeah, I think he's not. Well, first of all, too, Tyler Guyton is funny. If you watch him on film,
I'm just thinking about the clip in my head.
y'all, he be antagonizing people. I bet you he is a handful to line up against because he be talking. He's chirpy. He does little chippy stuff. But you know what? A lot of the best offensive linemen have little things that they do. They can get under guys' skin. He knows how to get under guys' skin. He got some Draymond spirit to him.
Yeah, he put on a performance against the Raiders. I think it was that game where he had that flop or just like fell back. I said,
The boy can
"What are you
act.
doing? Go win an
boy
Oscar
can
somewhere."
The boy can act.
Tyler Guyton so far this season has played the third most pass blocks, of course, 26 QB pressures, 3 sacks allowed. And his one-on-one percentage win rate is 82%, so definitely up there in that aspect. But Nate Thomas certainly going to have to fill in that role come Thursday against the Chiefs. Just talk about Nate Thomas. We have talked about it a little bit, but what are you getting more out of Nate Thomas that you don't necessarily get out of a Tyler Guyton? If there's anything.
More?
Yeah?
Yeah. What do you think?
More? I don't know.
I think you get a little bit more power, but that's the extent of it for me as of right now. Just because I thought that Nate Thomas, as he filled in last week, on Sunday, man, this is so many days so close together. Yes, I thought he filled in well. He had a couple times where his foot quickness isn't. So that's what I would say. Like, his foot quickness isn't what Tyler Guyton's is.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not what his is. But I think that Nate Thomas in the run game does have a little bit more power. I think he has a little bit stronger core strength to deal with some of those rushers and like to sit down and anchor a little bit better than what Tyler Guyton does. He relies on a lot of his athletic ability to help him win reps. But other than that, Nate Thomas needs to get the experience. He needs to get the experience. I mean, I don't like that Guyton is injured, but at the same time, this is going to give us another look at Nate Thomas and kind of know what we have on that offensive line when it comes to the tackle position.
That's fair. Yeah, he's only played like 122 offensive snaps. So, but you have enjoyed the fact that he can come in and instantly fill that role. Like, you don't feel like a major drop off considering he hasn't played that many offensive snaps. But there's another guy on that list who I hope and pray, good Lord, football gods and the real God, that George Pickens is okay, because definitely do not want to see him on that practice report today. But are there any concerns there?
I think it's everything is more concerning, if you will, because it's a short week. But I think from what Schottenheimer said yesterday, like you mentioned, the only one that's really trending towards not being on that field as of yesterday is Tyler Guyton. It didn't seem, and just think about who GP is. I don't see that being. If he's injured, I don't know if I'm gonna love it. I think he'll play through it, but I know we're gonna get into the Chiefs side. They got some banged up guys too, so it's gonna look like a couple of guys banged up going head to head Thursday night.
Yeah, they. To your point about George Pickens, it's so funny because everybody wants a sure-handed receiver. The downside about that is he be holding on to that ball so hard. Right. He let his head break his fall sometimes. He let his shoulders. There's times on those slants where he gets tackled, y'all, and he's just falling directly on his shoulders and stuff because he ain't letting go of the ball. He's not trying to brace himself like this and stuff. So that's what happened on that play, is that he didn't brace himself. He had two hands on the ball, and he kind of hit his shoulder. I just didn't like the way he went down in general. So he probably just got a little,
What scares me is when he be like catching the ball, coming down with one hand, and then be stretching like this. What are we doing?
The players on side of the sideline was like, "Don't do that,
Bruh.
don't do that." But he had a good grip though.
No,
he did.
don't do it.
Some guys don't have a good grip. He had a good.
He gonna
grip.
be doing that all season. Just
He had a good grip on it.
All right, we're going to take our first break here. Get into this Chiefs, Cowboys, Thanksgiving matchup here on Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign.
When you're on the field, you know what it takes to lead your team and play with confidence. But that confidence shouldn't just stop at game time. It should follow you off the field, too. Join over 500 NFL players who trust Invisalign, the #1 doctor-recommended clear aligner brand. Ready to take the first step towards a smile you'll love? Visit Invisalign.com/NFL and find a doctor near you today. Transform your smile and take your confidence to the next level, both on the field and off.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Heck of a win, fellas.
Coach, the Cowboys beat us by 30 points.
No, I'm talking about my dog. He started eating fresh food from the farmer's dog and has lost 7 pounds.
Your senior dog with joint issues?
That's right, Steven. The pre-portioned meals of real meat and veggies help keep him lean, active, and feeling like a puppy again.
That's incredible. But what about the game?
The Cowboys smoked us. Hit the field, run some sprints.
Get 50% off your first box of the official pet food of the Dallas Cowboys. Only at thefarmersdog.com/Cowboys.
How does the cheerleader's hair always look so perfect? We asked, and they shared one of their biggest beauty secrets. If you want hair like theirs and confidence to match, use Babyliss Pro styling tools. The Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders use Babyliss Pro curling irons to get those perfect game day curls. To get the hair you see on the cheerleaders, head to BabylissPro.com. Use the code Cowboys20 for 20% off Babyliss Pro tools, the official styling tools of the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Get the discount while it lasts. Offer may be withdrawn at any time at advertiser's discretion.
Celebrate the season at Cowboys Christmas Extravaganza, powered by Reliant at the Star in Frisco. Join us every Friday and Saturday night from November 21st to December 20th for an electrifying holiday performance. For the details, visit stardistrict.com.
Welcome back. Inner Girls Talk Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign in the SWBC studio. Nicole Hutchison, Brianna Aldridge, Aisha Morrison. Y'all know the drill. We got Aisha's insights. Hello. We're talking Kansas City Chiefs. Thanksgiving Day, this Kansas City Chiefs offense. What is it looking like over there?
Well, it doesn't look bad, but it looks different, just like the team that was in the Super Bowl II looked a little different. Important, we always talk about the offensive line. I think it's important to, bring up Trey Smith. Their guard is dealing with an ankle injury. It sounds like he, on a short week, may not be able to go. Bree, do you have any insight on?
That man been banged up all season. He had back issue, and now he had an ankle injury this last game, so he had to come out. And then now they're saying it's a low and high ankle sprain. So he's banged up in every which way. He's trending to not play against the Cowboys at this point. It seems silly for them, for a team that is desperate to be in the postseason, who obviously have a higher chance of getting to the postseason than the Cowboys do. I believe it's like 40-something% as of today. So I would not imagine that they would try to throw in their best offensive lineman against the Cowboys in a short week with that's really 3 injuries you're talking about at this point. He don't look great.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because their offensive line, they have allocated some resources to, and Josh Simmons, Suamatia. I just feel like I would expect for their offensive line, Creed Humphrey, to be playing better than what they are right now. But it feels like they have really struggled to run block. Yep. Like, that's something that they have not done particularly well this year. And when you look at the quarterback had a hell of a game on Sunday. I think this team goes very much so how the quarterback goes. If the quarterback has an off, like, you remember when for Dallas, if Dak has an off game, then they can't win games. Yeah. That's kind of how Kansas City is right now, because they are so heavily reliant on their passing game. And although their passing game is a pretty good passing game, I'm not sure it's just killing everybody out here. I will say, when you talk about the Chiefs, a lot of respect for Andy Reid and what he does. A lot of respect for Matt Nagy and what they do schematically. I expect for them to throw some things at Dallas that maybe Dallas hasn't gotten to see quite yet. Their motions are very interesting in how they do things. You know, sometimes they'll play Ring Around the Rosie and then be like, oh, we're in a formation now. Now, but some of that creativity has minimized with the injuries on the offensive line, with the inability to run the ball. Like, they're having to kind of spread things out and pass the ball. This is one of the leading offenses. I think they're 9th in scoring in the NFL this year. So they're going to put up 25-plus points, but it's going to be a lot of it in the air. So this is a game where this Dallas secondary that, Bree, you mentioned, struggled at the beginning of that game. They maybe can't have that time, that slump, like come out slow, like Bree was talking about, where they're not when they're not playing the pass as well as they need to, because that's where the Chiefs heavily rely right now.
Yeah, you talk about them relying on their quarterback and their play goes on their quarterback. Look at what Mahomes has averaged: 3.2 seconds to throw. That's be sacked or complete a scramble, the longest in the NFL. In week 12, and that included, of course, 23 plays at 3.5 seconds or longer. That's the second most for Mahomes' career in 144 starts. So they certainly do go as Mahomes goes, but he's having to make stuff happen. Like,
Absolutely.
He's literally having to make stuff happen because that run game struggling. Kareem Hunt, I believe he was the first 100-yard rusher last week against, well, not last week, but this past week against the Colts. And so, yeah, I mean, he's really having to make stuff happen. What does that do for this Cowboys defense? Granted, we are hitting a stride. They are hitting a stride. But when you have a quarterback like that, how difficult is that to defend?
It's stressing. It's very stressing because, you know, especially with Patrick Mahomes, I think something that stood out to me on Sunday. Sorry, y'all.
Yeah, it's
they
fine.
get it.
We get it.
Something that stood out to me on Sunday outside of previous weeks is how willing he is to scramble. It's not like, and again, he's so, oh my God. He kind of runs like Pickens, where he looks like a kid that has something he's not supposed to have. Like, just.
Like some candy?
Just like. It's interesting, and I just feel like he can get really elusive and stuff through, you know, the middle of the field. If he sees grass, he's going to take it. And to your point, Nicole, he is also he's not just running, he's looking to pass.
Yeah.
Sometimes he is, but on Sunday, he was like, I'm running the ball right now. But how that affects the Dallas secondary is that you got to cover for a long time.
Yeah.
Either you have to cover for a long time, like Dallas has played a good mix, more of a mixture of zone and man. He's one of those guys that if you play man, it's going to be difficult. I wonder if we see even a spy, if that's something, again, that we maybe get introduced again, maybe a DeMarvion Overshown that deals with that, like, because he's a guy that I feel like if Dallas decides to play a little bit more man, which they have been doing, and mixing in some zone, this isn't a gentleman that you can turn your back to. Because once you turn your back to him, he recognizes that, and he will, you know, get extra yardage and hurt you with his legs.
Patrick Mahomes, for someone I've been able to cover the AFCs, he is someone that it's just like, man, because it's never over. If there is time on the clock, okay, and Buffalo will tell you what 13 seconds means to that fan base. That's what it took for Patrick Mahomes to go downfield and take the Bills' season to an end. But he is a scrambler. If you look at what he does 90% of the time, if he's running to his right, he's going to throw the ball. And he's scrambling on the road. And I swear, I see something, I think he was playing like Baltimore, and it was like under the leg to Kelsey. And it was like, how does he do that? His arm is not where most arms are for quarterback when he's releasing the ball. And then again, when he's scrambling to the left, he's most likely running. And I think for this game, we're talking about a Trey Smith, their right guard, not being out. That's going to be, you're asking Patrick Mahomes to kind of do something a little bit out of his wheelhouse. I think that'll be interesting because that means when he's basically scrambling, he's going to have to push left a little more and have to throw left. And that's not, if you watch 90% of his films when he's scrambling, that's not where he likes to throw. It's on the other side. And I think it's going to be something noticeable because, like we're talking about, Trey Smith not playing is going to be a big deal. But when we're talking about the offense, if you listen to Chiefs radio, they're going to tell you that this offense is down, and if they're losing, it's because of the offense. All their 5 losses have been by 1 score, so they've been in it. And it's weird because the metrics in every single category are better, substantially better than last
year, but it don't look like it.
No. And they're not executing when it matters. And I think that's the frustration from that fan base because it is Patrick Mahomes. And it's not like his legacy is going over. I know everyone over there is going downhill, but that's still an elite QB who can do elite things. But I think a lot of it has to do with Isaiah Pacheco not being in there. That's huge.
Yeah, it's huge. And then Kareem Hunt has come in and kind of been in an elevated role, not doing a lot more than what I think he expected to even be doing coming out of, coming out of retirement, But I just, that's the important part about it. To your point, Bree, is their lack of run game and consistent run game has hurt them. And then when you start looking at their receivers and their options, if I'm not mistaken, I think Rashee Rice is dealing with a hamstring. He was limited yesterday in practice. That's definitely something to keep an eye out on because to me, he is their number one. And although he does a lot of play in the slot, it's not that he can't go play out in the boundary. He's the biggest threat. Obviously, you talk about Worthy, and Worthy is a gentleman that they will use as a route runner. He's fine. He has the speed. He can get behind guys, but he's also a guy that they use in their screen game. And they're trying to get yards after catch with him. They're trying to get him out in space. Travis Kelce, Bree, I think you made a good point when we were offline was that, Travis Kelce is having to do so much and helping out that right side of that offensive line that is kind of taken away from his offensive input. And then you also mentioned how the elevated snaps he's seeing as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think it was 82 snaps last game for a tight end. That's kind of crazy, but almost half of those, or no, I should say, I think about 30-something was run blocking for Travis Kelce, someone who you go to, your third down guy, to make sure to extend plays and make sure that drive stays alive. I think that's a lot. He's getting older, and again, you're coming in here on a Thursday, so you're having less time to prepare your body and what have you. So, it takes a toll. And we got some banged up guys. Shotty said, they know what they have on their side. They're coming in banged up. So is the Chiefs. So it's going to be interesting to see if I don't know if it's going to be like everybody looks sluggish coming in, or like you mentioned, is it going to be third quarter where it just kind of starts to look sloppy because everybody's beat up and tired at that point?
I definitely think that's a possibility. But the Chiefs are only about 14th in the league in rushing yards per game, just a little. It's about 118 yards per game. One thing that does stand out to them when you look at their stats, though, is their time of possession. That's something that they actually thrive in. So to me, in this game, I think defensively for Dallas, it's going to be important that they do not allow Kansas City to dictate pacing.
Yep.
If you allow Kansas City to dictate how fast you play, when you can substitute, keep you on the field for extended drives, that's when they feel most under control. And to your point, Bree, about Patrick Mahomes, is that he has that capability to take over a game. Despite the fact that this offense has been playing from behind a lot and that they are maybe considered the weaker point of this team, they still have championship experience.
Yeah.
They do. And I know that people don't want to hear that matters, but when it comes to crunch time, this is a big game for Kansas City. They're fighting for playoff hopes as well. They understand the gravity of this game. So I expect a playoff atmosphere in this game. Patrick Mahomes probably does too.
Yeah. You got some competitors over there.
Yes.
Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Xavier Worthy, even though, he's battling that ankle injury. He was limited in practice. Rashee Rice, all those guys over there.
They banged up too.
Yeah. One thing that I wrote down was the third down offense. They're 10th in the NFL, converting on 41% of their drives. Of course, you look at the numbers, and Dallas is dead last. But, however, they have improved on third downs. Granted, first half, don't say that, but against Philly. But last week in the second half, you can see, the improvement there. How important will that aspect? I mean, you kind of touched on it a little bit, time of possession, but getting off the field on third down as well, and it all starts up front with those guys and Quentin Williams in that defensive line.
Don't be penalties.
That too.
Dallas.
Don't
tell you something. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Philly did not. Half of the drives that Philly had in the beginning of that game were not because Dallas wasn't playing good defense. They've had this problem where they, first and second down, they be killing it. Third and long.
Next play.
And then the team converts, and a lot of the time it's due to penalty. So this is not a team, to me, that you can give again, momentum-based team, a team that really thrives off of dictating pace. You got to get them off the field when you have an opportunity to get them off the field. So I'm hoping that Dallas can be smarter with their decision-making. Stop lining up in the neutral zone. I know it's pretty. It looks close to the other players.
Snap's crazy.
Pretty is crazy.
I know it looks so appealing. The offsides and things like that, like, it's just, I think they got Ravel too, and I'm just like, they can be a little handsy. I want them to contact these receivers. They got a lot of speed. So Dallas is going to have to, redirect these players. They're not going to be able to just not put their hands on them at all. But, like, just don't be too grabby. Play through the whistle, but also to be smart. Because when you get a chance to get this team off the field, you need to take it.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing for me. Like, stop getting penalties on third down. My God.
I was looking at they
She laughing.
Oh, you're sick. Their possessions. It kind of look a little similar offensively. Interception, field goal, field goal, field goal.
They had
punt,
a lot of field goals.
Punt, fumble, touchdown, punt, field goal, field goal. So offensively, I mean, can't get them twisted. They will figure it out. Hopefully not against Dallas, but there's some opportunities across that offensive line that you can take advantage of. Who has that better matchup one-on-one? This is what Eberflus likes to do, is create one-on-one matchups now.
I mean, I would say that I would definitely attack that right side of that offensive line, but Dallas will run some stunts. They will do some, like, end rounds and stuff like that, especially with the interior being stronger. I think Dallas will opt to take advantage of the right side of that offensive line. I mean, it's not saying that the left side is like that much better. But, yeah, so Jadeveon Clowney comes to mind. Obviously, Quentin Williams comes to mind. I mean, listen, that interior, whomever it is, whether it's Quentin Williams, also Diggy Zool, whoever, against Creed Humphrey, is about to be some wrestling. Because he's a fantastic center. He's one of the best in the league. We saw Dallas do, even though Reddy Stewart wasn't able to get home. This is a quarterback, again, that you got to speed up their clock. And you can't. He's so slippery. If you are going to blitz, you got to get there. You got to short tackle. I thought that Dallas tackled better this past game against Philly. If Eberflus does opt to bring some nickel blitzes and some stuff like that, which is what he did in this past game, then the guys got to get there. So Donovan Wilson, if it's Deron Bland that's blitzing, Reddy Stewart, whomever it is, like, they got to get there.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see. We've been talking about this five-man front so much. I'd be interested to see how that plays in, because this would seem like a game where you wouldn't want to lean on that as much, just because it does create more one-on-ones when you're talking about the second level, third level. And I think when you got monster like Travis Kelce, that's something that maybe you don't want to see that much. When you got some DBs trying to figure it out, I think it made a lot of sense with Jalen Hurts. We know passing game's not really where they've been thriving this year. And again, even with that being said, first thing, I think I even saw you tweet, A.J. Brown taking passes again, like, against Dallas.
They'll flip a script.
You know what I'm saying? So I'll be interested to see what that game plan is. I do 100% think they'll have to have a spy. Like, I don't think that's an option going against Patrick Mahomes, who literally plays better when he's on the scramble.
What do y'all think when you look back at the way Philly played Dallas offensively? What do you think the Chiefs might take away from that game?
Well, Philly decided they wanted to come out and attack your young corners really quickly. Kalen Carson, Savon Ravel. They wanted to attack them early, and I guess it worked. What I think Philly thought they could do was come out and do quick passes and to get their quick game kind of firing, and that's what they were able to do. Dallas's defensive line in the beginning of that game, like, don't get it twisted. The defense came out and was able to get more pressure later in the game, but at the beginning of that game, Dallas there were times that Jalen was back there chilling in the pocket. So if I'm the Chiefs, I'm thinking, if I can, hold up in pass protection, which they are one of the better teams in pass protection, then they're going to think, to me, I think they're going to think that they can, get some points. They're going to be able to pass the ball downfield. I do think that this Dallas secondary has played better. Obviously, Malik Hooker, I think, being back has kind of helped Deron Bland. But I will say, I'm looking at them, and I would assume that they try to pass the ball downfield as well.
Yeah, I think when you're looking at what this offense can do to a Dallas defense, it's going to be the high tempo and it's going to be the short passes. They don't have the deep ball like Dallas has, where you got to worry about a CD and a George Pickens who can pretty much ruin you downfield. Patrick Mahomes has 1 touchdown in the last 3 games. He has 3 interceptions in the last 3 games. I don't know what's going on, but I don't see him. I hope, because it feels like, again,
We gotta hope and pray
every time, because Dallas did give up those chunk plays again. So I know that's something they are susceptible to. Don't matter who's out there, it seems like. But I expect Patrick Mahomes to come up there with his no huddle having self and just making the defense work.
What's one matchup that y'all feel great about?
Great about?
Yep. Feel confident about.
I mean, Quentin Williams showed me what he could do 2 weeks in a row. He's coming off a career high. What was it? 8 pressures? Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't expect him to slow down. And just to hear the guys, like I listened to Sam Williams' post with Isaiah, talking to Kenny, hearing what he had to say, Donovan Ezraku, like everybody in 2 weeks, Quentin Williams has this defense believing in him. And even though he's a veteran and, you know, you've seen what he can do, it's huge that third-year players, fourth-year players are buying into Quentin Williams right away. And he's not just talk, and he backs it up. We don't, what is the word? I'm thankful.
I'm thankful.
Thankful.
Yeah, facts.
Thanksgiving around the corner.
I'm thankful.
I think that's a huge deal, and I expect him to really be a part to show in making everyone, again, around him better and be able to eat. Because I agree with you 100%, Aisha, and the fact that it's good to start up front, which it has been, and it makes everybody else just look that much better. So that's what I expect to see from him.
That made me happy too, though. It did. Like, it was cool to hear the guys say, like, he's the one that really bolstered them. And that's the thing about having, you know,
A guy?
Yeah.
a guy, is that when it's coming from a guy, you like, you know what? I see what this man's doing on film. I see what he's doing on film. A matchup that I love, baby. If they decide to roll Travis Kelce out there to try to chip Donovan Ezraku, have fun, brother. No offense to Travis Kelce. You know, we know that he's one of the greats and all that stuff. It's too late to know not be offensive. I mean, Donovan Ezraku just don't care about tight ends these days. I just don't know if that's the best idea for them to be trying to do
all that.
And I know this is random, but I'm not in the mood for Hollywood Brown either. I'm not in the mood for him because don't get it twisted. I understand we talked about their offense kind of struggling. He's kind of a wild card. You know who he reminds me of? Wandale Robinson from the Giants. And remember what people was like, who is this man?
Good comparison.
And I was like, we talked about him on the show.
way.
He's so random. He leads their team. He leads the Chiefs in receiving. Like, again, like, their offense is so sporadic that you can't really put your finger on, like, I guess who's the number one. Again, I'm saying Rashee Rice because they was weeping and stuff waiting for him to come back. But Hollywood Brown is kind of a wild card, and some of his usage in the slot, they'll put him in motion. He's a guy that can definitely, he's shifty, and sometimes the Dallas corners struggle with that. I'm not in the mood for him either.
One of it's fine. It's going to come out eventually. One of the matchups that I'm looking forward to is obviously they like to, you know, match up Travis Kelce everywhere on the field. But if they try to go against our linebackers have been covering so much better the last couple of weeks. Obviously, we talk about it all the time ad nauseum because they have a pass rush. But you know, just hearing Quentin Williams tell Demo when he said, "Bro, I got you. They gotta block me. Like you're gonna be free." So knowing the fact that these linebackers are now having free rush lanes, free ability to cover guys now, like that's a matchup I'm looking forward to for sure. But you think that's a possibility?
No, I agree.
A lot more?
No, I agree with that's something that when you asked earlier, I thought about what would I expect for them to try to do to Dallas. Most teams are trying to come out and attack your linebackers. They're trying to make your linebackers have to come out. They're doing really quick swing passes into the flat and stuff. The Dallas linebackers have not necessarily defended the flats that well. throughout the season. I think you do get a little bit better there with a DeMarion Overshown. He made some good tackles in that short part of the field. But I agree with you. Kareem Hunt is only averaging about 3.9 yards a carry. He's taking on a lot of a load, and I think that wear and tear, especially in a short week, to your point, Bree, is something that we can expect. Now, is Pacheco expected to...
He's back at practice, but it doesn't look like, because again, kind of like what Shotty said about the Diggs being the short week kind of thing, it seems like I doubt it, because they have been they have one more elevation to Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who did 2 games already. I would expect him to come in again for Dallas to be that number 2 guy if needed. They have another guy they haven't really been playing a ton, so technically they have 2 other options outside of Kareem Hunt. And like Kareem Hunt's been taking the bulk of it since Pacheco is out, so I would assume that they would kind of save Pacheco in their back pocket. Again, this is a team who's they're postseason hopefuls, right? You got to think ahead as well on this short week. But I don't think Pacheco will be out there. I'd be surprised.
Okay, that's good to know. The only other guy that really makes me a little tight is Tyquan Thornton.
Okay. Forgot about Thornton.
Yeah, he's kind of their deep ball guy. And I don't know. I don't know if people don't expect him to be a deep ball guy. I don't know, but it seems like when he gets behind people and he's able to separate a little bit more, I think he extends really well. He has some good length. That's a part of their game that, if they decide to be explosive and decide to try to get some explosive plays in the air, which I think they might have to if Dallas shuts down the run that like you were just talking about. I think Dallas is going to play the run pretty well against them. Then, expect for them to air it out. And Thornton is a guy that I expect to see a part of that, attempt to air it out. I'm going to say attempt at this point.
Sunday, he only had 1 target Sunday.
It's too many.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different people who have different skills that I feel like, to your point, it's what is Patrick Mahomes going to do? Because he doesn't have, to me, right away. Yes, they have people who can do the deep ball, but they don't really have like that deep
ball guy. It's not.
This is not what this offense is about. And when you take out, Pacheco, you decimated what this offense is doing, because now you're becoming a little bit more predictable. So if a team can figure out how to slow down your tempo, your slants, your Travis Kelce right there, it's kind of hindering the execution. Again,
absolutely.
They're in the metrics, it's very confusing. If you look at the metrics, it's like they're killing it. And then I just told you that Patrick Mahomes has only thrown 1 touchdown in the last 3 games. He has more interceptions than touchdowns.
It's just.
But if you look at overall, I think it's been a little bit of drop these last few weeks. Yeah. And again, who's been out? Like I keep saying, who's been out with Pacheco. But if you look at, because I had to make this graphic for our game day, his stats, if you're looking him and Dak, they're very similar. Dak is like a little bit ahead, barely in every category. Completion rate, Dak 69.3, Mahomes 64.4. Yards per attempt, Dak 7.4, Mahomes 7.3. Touchdowns, Dak 23, Mahomes 18. Interceptions at 7 for both of them. They're at the same. QBR rating for Dak 102.6, Mahomes 93.8. So they're very
similar
statistics, but it's like this is obviously overall. If you look at the last 3 games, it's pretty obvious that the Chiefs are struggling.
Yeah, they line with it. When I looked at the stats, I was confused too, because when I looked at the film before I looked at the stats, and I said, what's going on here? Oh, they just passing a whole bunch.
Yeah.
Oh, they're trying to come back in games. Oh, they're and again, they're struggling in the red zone. I don't know why I didn't get their red zone percentage, but they're struggling to put up when they're in the red zone, and they're playing from behind in some of these games. And like you said, Brie, I thought that was a good point. That's last week Sunday was the only game that they have won that's within 1 score.
Yep.
This season. And this is, again, a team that you look at as a team that can finish, that can close. But Brie, I thought
it looks like a lot of last year, but the difference is they had so many miracle games last year. I think they started the season off by beating Baltimore with a toe. But with the toe, somebody's shoe barely hit in. And then they just kept going on this crazy run where they were coming down to a field goal, coming down to the final seconds. And again, all those games that they've lost has been by one score, so they're in every game. The difference between this year and last year is it's not going their way at the end.
That part. They were 11-0 in one-score games last year.
That's crazy.
That's crazy, but I think it has to do with what y'all are saying is that they don't have. It doesn't feel like they have set roles for set guys outside of a Kelsey. Yeah. Everybody else is kind of like
on Mahomes, go make some magic, and he's been able to do that thus far, enough to get them to the Super Bowl last.
It's like being multiple is a good thing and a bad thing for them because you do need. This is who I'm going to right now.
Well, this is what we're going to right now. We're going to take our second break.
Right.
We'll be right back. We're going to talk Boys Talk presented by Invisalign.
Heck of a win, fellas.
Coach, the Cowboys beat us by 30 points.
No, I'm talking about my dog. He started eating fresh food from the farmer's dog and has lost 7 pounds.
Your senior dog with joint issues?
That's right, Steven. The pre-portioned meals of real meat and veggies help keep him lean, active, and feeling like a puppy again.
That's incredible. But what about the game?
The Cowboys smoked us. Hit the field, run some sprints.
Get 50% off your first box of the official pet food of the Dallas Cowboys. Only at thefarmersdog.com/Cowboys.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
When you're on the field, you know what it takes to lead your team and play with confidence. But that confidence shouldn't just stop at game time. It should follow you off the field, too. Join over 500 NFL players who trust Invisalign, the #1 doctor-recommended clear aligner brand. Ready to take the first step towards a smile you'll love? Visit Invisalign.com/NFL and find a doctor near you today. Transform your smile and take your confidence to the next level, both on the field and off.
All right, Cowboys fans, this one's for us. If the men in your life bleed blue and silver like we do, I've found the perfect way to elevate their game day rituals. Gillette just released their best razor in Cowboys colors, and it is everything a Cowboys fan could want. The new Gillette Labs official Dallas Cowboys licensed razor combines his Cowboys pride with Gillette's best shave. And with 50% longer lasting blades, it is truly the gift that keeps on giving. Get it while you can at Gillette.com/NFL. Gillette's best shave is also available as heated.
Capture frame-worthy holiday photos with Santa at the Star, presented by Monument Realty. Santa will be spreading holiday cheer from November 21st all the way through Christmas Eve. For more information and to book your visit, head to thestardistrict.com/Santa. Register before December 7th to save $5.
Welcome back into Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign. Nicole Hutchison, Brianna Aldridge, Aisha Morrison. We have a caller, Robbie in Cocoa Beach, Florida. What you got? How you doing?
What's up, girls? How we doing today? Happy Thanksgiving.
What's up? Same to you. Thanks for calling us.
Of course. Love the show. I watch it, listen to it every day. I got a question, maybe for all of you guys, but Aisha was talking about it back in the draft with Kyle Yeomans and Brian Broaddus and such about Booker. And we just haven't heard much about him, and I'm assuming that's a good thing because he seems like a man grown out there and just whooping ass. And I'll take your girl's thoughts off there and have a great day.
Thank you for calling, man. Yeah, that is.
That's so crazy because I hadn't thought about it. We really don't talk about him that much.
We don't.
Nah.
Yeah.
And that is it with an offensive lineman. That is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
We always say that, yeah.
Wait,
I feel like if we are talking about you.
He's only given up the second least amount of what's it called? Pressure. Sorry, I was trying to calculate. Yeah, he's the second least amount of pressures amongst the offensive line this year, and the second least amount of sack percentage as well. So yeah, Booker. I mean, I guess it is a good thing when you don't
shout out to Book
talk about an offensive lineman.
Yeah, I mean he's come in and he's kind of fit very seamless. That was the biggest thing about him being drafted is like even though I know a lot of people wanted a wide receiver or something, you know, or something. He was the most league ready guard in that class. So he was immediately ready. So it's like I think that we've gotten to see that this past week. Man, him and Jalen Carter battling.
Yeah.
Jalen Carter, if you watch film, you know what I'm talking about. He be popping people upside their head and stuff. But with Booker, I feel like you've gotten a guy that's going to help your interior for a good while. And the Cowboys, as much as annoyed as people were when he was drafted and people wanted more of a skill player, he neutralizes something that your teams within your division do very well.
Yeah.
And that's, interior push and things like that. So he has definitely helped shore those things up. And you're getting to see him in the run game, get to the second level and all that stuff.
Now I feel like I got to look at Booker on Thanksgiving just so I can come back and say something positive. I'm screaming. Because I'm like, dang.
But also, too, they chippy out there. I like it. I like the attitude. This offensive line, a little chippy.
Yeah. Well,
it's a good thing. It is
a good thing.
We're not saying his name.
It's fine.
I guess.
We're going to say his name tomorrow, though, because we do have a show. We're going to talk Cowboys offense, Chiefs defense ahead of Thanksgiving Day. It's going to be a good one, y'all. I mean, I feel like we say that every week. But I really mean it's going to be a good one.
It's going to feel like a playoff game.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, with the Cowboys needing this win, also the Chiefs needing a win on Thursday, I think it could really significantly bump the Cowboys' chances of
10% right now.
Yeah, it's better than what it is now.
Yeah. It was 1% this time last year. I just want to say that. Okay, bye.
All right. On that note, I'm sick of
I'm
you.
about to get out of here.
The door needs to open
She's
for you.
sick.
Open.
Pessimistic Bree got to come
Yeah,
out.
she's a sicko. On that note, it's a great show. We'll see y'all back here at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. Nicole Hutchison, Brianna Aldridge, Aisha Morrison. We'll see y'all mañana.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!